Oyamiente Ish here with just a really quick note. We had a bit of technical difficulties while recording this fantastic interview with Noah Rico from the Gordita Chronicles. So please, if anything, just go ahead and skip to about 3 minutes and 45 seconds or so, and the sound improves immensely. Would hate for you to miss out on a fantastic interview because technology can be sucky. All right, enjoy.
Hey everyone, this is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is Season 5 of Pero Let Me Tell You.
Oye, mi gente. All right, now, you know, we've chatted with a lot of people, had a lot of interviews, actors, singers, authors, locals. Today we have our youngest guest ever on the show. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Did not tell you that beforehand because I wanted you to be caught off guard. You are the youngest person we've ever had as an interview on our show. So I want to give a huge welcome to one of the stars of, frankly, one of my favorite shows of 2022, the Gordita Chronicles. Gone but not forgotten.
Right.
All right? Noah Rico, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
No, listen, I appreciate it. I love it, and I'm just gonna say I love the fact that I'm sitting here with you, but also like your mom is here, your dad is here.
Right.
Like it's a family affair.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can't love that enough, quite honestly, because that just speaks to the fact of like who y'all are.
Yeah,
You know, it takes a village.
They're emotional support. You need them constantly.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
damn right.
Yeah.
Listen, so I have to say, man, I mean, we're gonna get to Gordita Chronicles of it all. You have 11 credits on IMDb. You are 15 years old. That means that you've essentially have one credit for almost every year of life you've been on this planet. That is insane to me, brother. That is, like, congrats.
Thank you. I mean, it's been an incredible journey. You know, I started when I was 8. And my mom got me into acting. I started taking acting classes, and my journey has just been amazing. I've met so many incredible people, and I'm so honored, you know, to be here with you now.
Well, thank you. So, okay, how does it start? Like, at what point did you just turn to your mom? Like, you know, like we hear so many times, like you watching TV, and
Right.
I could do that, and then she's like, yes, you can.
I mean, my mom is a commercial actress, and so
okay,
one
cool.
day I went with her to a commercial audition that she was doing, and I initially I wasn't gonna audition, but I was watching her, and I was like, they're just asking her to dance. That looks so cool. And they're like, okay, so look excited, and she was looking excited, and I'm like, you can just decide to be excited. This is so cool. And so I was like, Mommy, I kind of want to do acting. And so she got me to classes, and I started taking classes. I started learning.
Right.
And then, you know, I did novelas. And
Yes, you
since
did.
there-
You did Betty in Nueva York.
Yes, I did
Yeah.
Betty. I did Al Otro Lado del Muro.
Yeah.
So I was with Telemundo for a while. And then at some point, my mom and I were like, okay, you've explored the Spanish market. Let's try the American market.
Right.
And so my mom was like, okay, let's go to LA. And I was like, LA, really? And so we went. And since then, you know, everything it's been so amazing. I'm so grateful.
I love how, you know, and again, just meeting you, and some of this obviously is youth, you know, but I think there's just an excitement that's palpable about you. Like, as you're talking to me, like, it just seems like you're still happy, you know, you're enjoying it. And I think it's great when, you know, a parent really steps up and says, okay, you know what, you're interested in this, let's go do it. Because many Latino parents, the minute that the kid says, I want to do acting or what have you, they'll be like, maybe not. You know, like they try to distract you, right? Like, but I also, your mother being a commercial actress, obviously she understands that world, and she can probably navigate it, I would think, better than a person who doesn't know, right? Who's just going to step in cold, like a cold call. So I think there's a benefit for you with that.
Yeah, so my parents have been incredible throughout my entire journey. They've been so supportive and with me the entire way. My mom tends to come with me through my traveling and whenever I'm working. So I'm just so grateful that they've been with me the entire time. And I do have brothers, and they support me from home, you know, and I wish I could bring them everywhere. But it's nice to know that they're all rooting for me back home.
So
and
are you
that
the
we-
youngest or the oldest?
I'm the middle child.
You're the middle
But
child.
I'm a twin.
Wait, so how does that work for the middle
so
child?
I'm like a minute older, so I get the rights to call myself a middle child.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. But
I deserve it. I deserve it.
No, listen. Clearly, you've earned it and you've claimed it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So, you're from Miami, right? And listen, if there's one thing we love on this show is when a local boy does good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's always going to be something for us. But going back to what you were saying a little bit earlier, right, where you started your career at Telemundo, and it's funny because thinking back now, I may have met you when Betty in Nueva York, because I went to that premiere party actually at the Telemundo offices here in the building.
Yeah.
I think they had just opened that building.
I think I remember, not remember specifically
right,
you, but
the event.
I remember the event.
Yeah, and I remember being there, and I was like, well, there's probably only like 4 little kids there, so you were probably one of them.
Yeah.
But what I think is interesting is, you were born here, right? But you have a mastery of Spanish that I think, we talk on this show a lot about how, as you hear more generations, the language tends to go away a little bit, right? But clearly that's not the case with you because you started your career in Spanish, right? And and you didn't start it as like a 4-year-old who would be like, "Mama," you had to be able to speak, right?
Yeah.
So, what is that? Is that a testament of just something your parents instilled in you?
I mean, culture has always been so big in my family. My parents are first-generation immigrants. And so they were never strict about it, but they really wanted my brothers and I to be very connected to who we are and where we're from.
Right.
And so Spanish has like never left our household. At home we speak Spanish, and my abuelita speaks Spanish, and she tries to learn English, but I'm glad that she doesn't feel like she has to learn a new language because she should feel at home still. And so I'm just really grateful again that I have this like ability to just stick with my language. Like I still feel very connected.
Well, I think that's something that comes through, and I think a part of that also because again, I'm literally looking at your parents here, right? So I'm like, but I can see that you guys are still very much. We're not going to try to quote unquote Americanizarlo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that I think, at least for myself and even my co-host, growing up many times, we felt a little, oh shit, do we go lean more Cuban? Do we lean more American? And I think it's very different for your generation. I think there's more about that ownership and representation.
Yeah.
Or would you agree? Or
yeah, I mean, right now it's like I'm glad that it's coming to light that people still want to be connected to their culture, and especially in Miami, sometimes when you arrive here, when you immigrate, you're like, wow, this is the American culture. I want to leave my culture behind and kind of become a real Americano.
Right.
And then that means like abandoning your culture and your language, and it's really sad because some of these people aren't too connected to their culture anymore. And again, that's a big reason why I'm grateful. But I think that here and still now up to this day, people are still very connected. Even students, like, people speak Spanish a lot in schools.
Really? So you found that they're still...
Yeah,
because you're still in high school.
Yeah.
So you would know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in homeschooling, but when I was in public school, kids spoke Spanish during recess,
Okay.
Like, we're still all
so it wasn't
very
lost.
connected. No.
Okay, so
not yet.
I do have to interrupt you because we're having this interview at Crackers here in Miami Springs, and they just brought these loaded French fries that...
They look so good.
So freaking insane.
So good.
And no. Y eso on top of everything, okay? Because clearly Noah was raised right. Homeboy has brought, oh my God, es que he didn't even open it until right now, la caja.
Such a beauty, now.
Una caja de pastelitos, like de carne, de guayaba y queso, de guayaba. I think there's a croqueta in there somewhere. Like, okay.
So good.
You've raised him right. That's all I'm going to say,
you,
okay?
Mommy.
If he shows up with this caja de pastelitos, that is the sign of a good home. Okay? It's both of you. It takes both of you, okay? So, I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, so now we have the salty and the sweet.
Yes.
So we are set.
To.
So we can just talk here for 4 hours.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
We're set here for the
all
night.
right.
And
we're set for the night. We'll just there's random geese, there's cats,
there's entertainment, food, what else? Like, what more do you want?
What more do we want?
Yeah.
Seriously. So I say that also, listeners, so that if you hear me chewing because I'm a fatty. It is the fries. It is the pastelitos. Maybe Noah. I say maybe for Noah because he seems like a consummate professional. So I don't think he will, chew on camera, as it were. But I have no qualms about that whatsoever freaking ever. So, I want to bring it back to, you started off doing novelas, which I think it's funny because it's such a staple of being Latino, right? And you did them for Telemundo, which I think has, in a weird way, modernized the formula in that they're doing, the novelas, but they're basing them in the U.S.
Right.
Like the one you were in, Betty Nueva York, took place in Nueva York. They've done some that take place in South Florida. And so, it's an interesting shift to say, like, to your point of, like, we're still doing the culture, but let's sprinkle some things in here to bring it to the audience.
A
little more, I don't want to say modernize it, but okay, we're going to go with it.
Yeah, we'll modernize it.
We'll modernize it. So I also noticed, though, you were on All That.
Yeah.
You did sketch comedy. Yeah. Okay, you're kind of a little bit my hero right now because sketch comedy is, bro, either you get it or you don't. And it's a certain animal that either people can do it or you can't. You can't teach. How the hell do you go from novelas to sketch comedy?
It's crazy. I've gotten a taste of like everything.
You really have. I'm beyond jealous, dude. I'm 43. You are 15. I am jealous of you. So I mean, wow.
I mean, I started in novelas, of course, and then I went to LA and I did all that. So it was sketch comedy, and then I
with
got
Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah. And then I did a little bit of Disney for High School Musical, the musical series. Yeah.
Okay, that title's too long.
Should I just say High School Musical?
Well, no, because then they're gonna think you're my age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So I feel like if I don't say the full thing, people will think I'm like 60.
But it's. He thinks Zac Efron is 60, ladies and gentlemen.
How old is he right now?
He is younger than me. He's yes, he's like 33.
I doubt that.
No, he is. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's in a phase right now though where if you told me he was 22, but you also told me he was 42, I'd believe both of them.
You believe him either way. Yeah.
He grows a beard and it's like I don't know how old this man is anymore.
Yeah. Are you my dad?
Yeah, exactly. He could be 100. I don't know. But yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I've gotten a taste of everything. And even after that, somewhere in between that mess, I got to do musical theater. And I am by far no singer. I cannot sing for the life
You're
of me.
living my dream life. Okay? This is like you're doing musicals, you're doing novelas, you're doing sketch comedy.
It's crazy. I'm so grateful, really. I'm so grateful.
So you say you're not a singer, but you've done musicals. I'm not a singer, so tell me, how does that happen? How do I make it happen for me?
It's like, it was pre-puberty, first of all. So it was like,
so you're saying it's too late for me?
It's for the both of us.
Okay,
if it makes you feel better, it's too late for the both of us. It's okay to not sing.
Okay.
But yeah, I got to do a little bit of everything. And I did musical theater, and sketch comedy and telenovelas, and then American comedy, sitcom. It's just all these things. I've gotten a taste of everything. It's crazy.
Dude, you're like a freaking Renaissance man. And that then brings us to Gordita Chronicles.
Right.
And I say that because having seen the show, I think that even though on the face of it, it's a comedy, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. But it's a comedy in the way that I wouldn't call it a drama because it's not cortándote la vena, right?
Right.
But there are dramatic elements to it. There are serious elements in the way that I think a coming-of-age story needs to have in order for people to feel connected to.
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of moments in the show that have a lot of relatability to life, especially here in Miami, like getting used to the American culture and modernizing yourself when you're a first-generation immigrant for the parents. And just things like meeting up with Abuela and Halloween. These things were like, what is this? And so I'm so glad that although it's a comedy, we're addressing like very real problems that need light brought to them.
You on this show are responsible for the first line that made me, the first of many lines that made me, and I'm not even going to pretend it didn't almost make me pee my pants with laughter.
God.
That first episode, when they're talking about the under the sea dance or whatever, and they're picking amongst the kids, who's qualified and why you should be chosen. And when you stand up And I'm sure you don't remember the line because, that was just work for you, right? But when you stand up there and you tell everybody that you're qualified because you came on the Maria boat lift, and that means that you have experience under and over the ocean, es que me estaba meando de la risa. Like, I was like, you know what? That is... Either you get that line or you don't.
Right.
And that is something that speaks so highly to, just the creator of the show, Claudia Forestieri. She is a Miami girl. Mm-hmm. She's from here.
Yeah.
She wrote these characters that I knew. Like, I knew
These are real
a Yoshi.
People, yeah.
I knew Cuckoo. I know these people.
Yeah.
When it's set in Hialeah. What show is ever set in Hialeah? Meanwhile, as we're sitting here, we're like a stone's throw from Hialeah, right? There was so much in that show that spoke to me.
Yeah.
The specificity of it is what made it relatable to so many people. Is that, how did you get involved with the project, and how did it all just happen? How did you become Yoshi?
Well, I had to audition, and as soon as I got the request to audition, it was like, Cuban boy who lives in Miami, is smart, is funny, is witty, has brown hair. And I was just like, my eyes.
So far, the only thing you're not is Cuban.
Right.
That's it.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
And so literally, like, my eyes glistened. It was like a dream come true. I was like, oh, it's based in Miami in the 80s. Like, I need this. And so I auditioned, and then I got to, meet Eva and Bridget and Claudia all in a Zoom.
Yes.
And so it was just incredible.
For those who don't know, he's tossing out the first names, but Eva is Eva Longoria. Right. He and Eva go way back.
Am I name dropping already?
I mean, listen, if I knew Eva Longoria, I would name drop left and right. Okay, like. Own it.
Right.
Own it.
I have to.
You have to. I haven't been on a Zoom call with Eva Longoria, so just own it.
I'm surprised, honestly. I got to hold Zoe's hand. I was literally...
Zoe Saldana.
Right.
For those of you, yes.
I messed up. Again, sorry. I'm so clumsy.
But I love it. I love how you... But that's... It speaks to just you being, like, an average kid, right?
That's what I am.
Because you're just talking about these people who you worked with.
Right.
There was no airs about it. And that also probably speaks a lot to who they are as people.
Right.
How just relatable.
They were so incredible, so nice. They... Zoe came to visit us during the pilot, and so we had finished the scene, and we saw her, and we were like, literally the first words that came out of my mouth were, "Oh my God, Gamora!" I was like, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I would not. I refuse to.
I love it.
So I was just like awestruck by her and Eva, and it was just like a dream come true. It's so amazing.
It's always amazing to me though when I see people like like Eva Longoria and Zoe Saldana really putting their money where their mouth is, right? Because it's one thing to speak about the need for representation and to talk about how we need it and you just did the little talk the everybody always talks, right? And again, obviously on a smaller level, that's why we have this podcast, because we want that representation. We want to get that viewpoint out there that we're not a monolith. We have all of our experiences, etc.
Right.
But they do walk the walk and talk the talk, and especially at this point, Eva Longoria is like she's like doing God's work because she just keeps going back to the bat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times she does it, and the networks may come back and be like, we tried, but it didn't work. We tried, it didn't work.
Yeah.
She has not let it defeat her. In her goals and in her quest to have that representation. Damn it, we're gonna be on TV. Yeah. We're gonna be in front of the camera whether you want to or not. Praise her for that.
During the premiere, Zoe said this beautiful line that I'm about to tell you. She was like, she was up and they were doing a panel questionnaire, and she was like, "No stories about us without us." And that literally, I have never connected to a quote, but like my mind just clicked in that moment, and I was like,
I'm never gonna forget that.
Oh my God, no stories about us without us. Like, there should be Latinos in front of the camera and behind it.
Absolutely.
As it should be.
Writers' rooms, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it's just beautiful that although we might fail, these stories are coming to light, and we'll continue to bring them to light until we blow up. Because that's how we are.
And here's the thing, you said, we might fail, but I'm gonna flip it. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to say the fact that we have these stories and that we still get the opportunity to make them, not with as much frequency as we'd like. It's not a failure, it's an opportunity.
That's true.
It's an opportunity for us to continue to tell our stories and to show why that need is there.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to continue to allow people like yourself that opportunity to shine and put the spotlight on our collective experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things, and I've probably used this example way more times than I should at this point. But I don't know if you're familiar with Jenny Lorenzo. She does the abuela character on Instagram. She's an actor. She basically got tired of she's from Miami, local girl. got tired of hitting her head, against the ceiling, right? Like every time, you're not Cuban enough. You're too Cuban. They don't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, she created her abuela character based on her grandmother. And it took off. It's become she does skits online. She's done, a little bit of like short episodes and things like that. Yeah. And it's led her to more opportunities. She does a lot of voiceover work for cartoons now and things like that. Yeah. But one of the things that she said when we talked to her was, by being very specific in your storytelling, much like Gordita Chronicles was, because it was the story of a Dominican family coming to the U.S.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. Yeah. That is what it was, right? That allows you then to appeal to more people.
Yeah.
Because everybody can see themselves in the details. Maybe not exactly the same way, but everybody had that same experience. Whereas if you just try to be a very general thing...
Yeah. It's like... It doesn't hit anywhere.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
Yeah.
Because they're not Dominican, they're not Colombian, they're not Cuban, they're quote-unquote Latino.
Yeah, it's like what? Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons that I'm going to go ahead and say it. I lament the fact that Gordita Chronicles was canceled despite having, what was it, like a 98% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yep.
Like, people would kill for those ratings, And yet, financial decisions are what they are.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm not going to take it too personal. I am going to take it personal. I think when you have a responsibility to do family programming like this.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, in modern day, I appreciate, a good slasher film, a good dark.
Hell yeah.
Hold
on. What's your favorite slasher film?
The modern Scream is so good. Like, I know that people
Scream
are like...
5?
No, like the most modern one with like Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, that was 5.
Yeah, that's
that was 5,
okay.
yeah. I haven't seen that one yet.
It's good. It was
really?
Actually so good. And I watched the original and the popcorn scene. It's just like unbeatable. But I liked the Scream movies are so good. But there should be family shows. There has to be comedies. Like they have to be brought back up.
And not all family shows have to be cartoons to sell lunchboxes.
Right.
There, I said it. Damn it. We need that relatability. And look, I get it. Businesses are a business. But you know what the beauty is? Gordita Chronicles is still on HBO Max.
Yes, you can still watch it. You can
still jump on there and watch all of you guys.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie. I've already seen it like twice.
Me too.
I'm not going to... Me too. Now, when you say that, do you count the time that you lived it?
Maybe
not.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. It really is, it's one of those shows that I think, first of all, I hope gets another life somewhere.
Yeah.
And I will do everything in my small power to try and make that happen. I have no real power, but I'm going to try what I can. But there are always those shows that people hold on to and cherish and treasure. And I really think Gordita Chronicles is one of those shows that, like, I don't know if you ever heard of Freaks and Geeks. It's always one of those shows that people talk about, like, oh, it was gone too soon. It didn't give a chance.
Yeah.
And I think your show is going to be that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to stand the test of time one way or another, damn it.
Yeah, we were so grateful that so many people were reacting in such a positive manner towards the show, because our real biggest, like, hope was that people could connect to the show. Like, we just wanted people to be able to watch and be like, wow, like, that's me on screen. That's me when I was a little girl, when I was a little boy, when I was in school in Miami. And so I think that that's so important, because people, and especially Latinos nowadays, just want to feel represented. We want to feel seen, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're young or younger than me. What do you think it is about, you know, because I don't want to. At a certain age, I get a little cynical, and I don't want to be cynical. So I'm hoping that you bring some youthful optimism to the table. But you know, of late, it does seem a little bit like all these Latino projects are brought with all this fanfare and all of this. It's happening here, it's coming, and we get it, and we fall in love with it, and then it just goes away. Do you think there's a pattern? Do you think that this is just, you know, the stumbling blocks on the way to bigger things?
You know, I think it is the stumbling blocks. There's always a journey you have to take, and especially for Latinos, you know, we face problems, like so many, and we should know that to achieve greatness, there should be lots of problems, and one day, like, I am so hopeful we're gonna hit success like crazy. I'm very hopeful. I know we'll be able to do it.
I'm gonna hope that too now, just because you said it with so much conviction and and sincerity that I'm like, you know what? No, damn it, Noah Rico is right.
Yes,
just gonna we're gonna make it.
We're gonna do it,
and all these stumbling blocks are gonna make us appreciate it all the damn more.
Just making our skin tougher.
There you go. Well, not too tough. I don't want to be leathery.
Nice, but like.
I mean, I don't want to be like an ass either.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Walk a fine line. So, you know, I know they're still holding out hope that Gordita Chronicles finds another home. And again, listeners, I cannot stress it enough. I think, honestly, this is like maybe the 4th or 5th time I've talked about this show on my show. At the end of every weekly episode, we always give a last soda of the desert to something that's deserving of praise and credit.
Yeah.
I gave it to Gordita Chronicles. So, like, I'm not paying lip service because you're in front of me. I genuinely freaking love this show. So watch it, kids. Get out there, watch it.
Yes.
But you know what's next for you? I mean, because you've already got 11 credits and you're 15. Like where are we? When are we gonna get credits? 12 through 14.
You know, if there's one thing I appreciate about myself that I can acknowledge is that I'm like so set on what I want to do. Like I had my goals
seem determined,
envisioned so perfectly. And you said you were a DC geek right before we did this interview.
I am.
I really want to do like a superhero movie. I don't care. Like wherever I fit in there, put me in.
All right, which one would you pick?
Oh my god!
Put it out. Put it out into the universe. Put it into the universe.
I don't know. Let me think. Like, I know that they're gonna.
Are you a Marvel or DC boy?
I mean, there's more Marvel movies, and there's a lot of Marvel upcoming movies.
This is true.
But DC would be so cool. Like, I don't care. What about, like, Superman? I don't know. Latino Superman? I don't care.
Why not?
Right. But aside from that, I want to do, like a very good horror movie. Like, not,
okay.
like...
I'm loving that you're such a horror fan.
Like, not, like, diabolical. More like Scream,
like a slasher.
Okay. Slasher films are definitely my thing, and so
right,
now
I'm gonna recommend a couple for you to watch.
Definitely, but like since I'm older now, I'm like getting invested in all these new things, and I'm very specific on what I want to do, and I'm glad that I'm that way.
No, you listen. You're the youngest guest we've had, but there is a determination and a focus when you're speaking, and that, you know. I've interviewed people 2, 3, 4 times your age. They don't project that. And so when you say, like, I know what I want, I believe you. I believe that, I'm going to, in, like, a year or two, going to have you back on the show because you're going to be promoting 25 other things at that point.
Yes, hopefully. Yes.
Maybe a superhero movie. Maybe a slasher movie.
I'll be here.
Maybe, you know what? The way things are going... You can start your own. You can fund your own movie. You can put a Kickstarter and do a slasher superhero hybrid. Who the hell says you can't?
Yeah. I think a big part of that, and my dad told me this, he taught me this very young, was that if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And I feel like nowadays a lot of people are afraid to dream.
You think so?
Yeah. Because like I know that my dreams are like going to be hard to achieve. But I'm, like, determined. Like, I really want to get there. And so I know that I'm not going to get there with being, like, doubting myself and not being sure of myself. Like, I know my worth. I know who I am. I know what I want to do. Right. I have, like, times where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I feel so out of place. But, you know.
Sometimes you're just tired.
When I get over that, when I watch Jane the Virgin for the 5th time, I just, like, get over it.
I love that
Isn't
show
that
too.
show so
That
good?
show is so great.
It's so good.
But that's an example of a show that, you know, it wore its Latino-ness on its sleeve
Yes.
in a way that made organic sense.
Yeah.
You know, not everything has to be about like, you know, hi, I'm the Latino character.
Right.
We don't announce ourselves every time we walk into a room, yo. Like, we walk in and it's like, this is who we are.
Yeah.
And call it a day,
Yeah.
you know. And yes, we're going to have pastelitos because that's part of our culture. And you're going to have a fry, but you're going to have a fry because that's also part of our culture. Okay? I always say, I'm not 50-50. I'm not 50 Latino or 50 American. I'm 100-100.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it. Yeah.
I embrace both sides of it fully. You know, and you have to. And otherwise, you're going to bata mal.
Yeah, you're going to lose yourself.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. You're really not going to be in touch with who you are. Oh, no. Noah, I have enjoyed talking to you so much. Like, legit. Like, you didn't. And the best part is you didn't make me feel old. Which I thank you very much for that alone. You didn't start talking about, you know, some influencers that I had no idea who the hell they were because I'm 3 times your age. So I appreciate that. But, dude, seriously, I love the show. You were fantastic. Like, the second you came on stage, on screen, I was like, that kid is just fun. You know, all of y'all were great to watch. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off of anybody, but I was like, I need to have him on the show because you just gave off such energy that I thought it was fantastic, and I'm so happy we were able to make this happen, man.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're so grateful, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. The cast is so incredibly grateful for all the support we've gotten, and you know, we're still very hopeful. We're gonna do it. We're gonna find a new home, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
No, and if not, you guys just get together and do a sequel series.
Yes.
You know,
we'll
call
it
it Flaquita Chronicles.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.